Now, the first reason you're likely to get a computer involved in video production is to get that footage the heck off the phone, which probably doesn't have that much memory to store all of it. So after you're done editing, in CapCut, for example, you would want to take that footage and get it off the phone onto your Mac or PC. And depending on which phone and computer you have, the way you do so is going to be different. Not the same across the board, unfortunately. So let's have a look. So when you plug an iPhone, or an iPad mini in this case, into your PC, it'll ask, allow this device to access photos and videos. Of course, you want to say yes. It shows up as Apple iPad, in this case, internal storage. DCIM, which stands for something I should know. I've been looking at it for years. Inside there, you will find folders that are date. From here, you would drag and drop it into your assets or incoming or wherever you decide. The easiest way to get the video from your iOS device to a Mac is to use the Mac-only AirDrop function. So you'll find your video in the Photos app. Go to Share, choose AirDrop, choose the device to AirDrop it to, which will need to be on the same Wi-Fi network, and accept the transfer on that other device. And voila, you have transferred your file. Pretty easy, usually. Then, of course, you may need to transfer files from an Android device to a Macintosh computer, and you do that by plugging it in with a cable and using an app made by Google called Android File Transfer. Download the app, install it, and run the app. That's one of the differences. You actually have to run the app. It's not built in the way AirDrop is. Once you run the app and you plug in the device, both the device and the Macintosh will need to verify that you're going to be using them together. I suggest doing so. And then your Android device will show up as it does on a PC. At that point, you can transfer files back and forth just like with a hard drive. It's pretty convenient. Getting files from an Android device to a PC is usually best done with a cable. It's faster and works the same way on most devices. But you just plug in a cable between the two devices, and it should just show up, depending on if you have the drivers installed. If not, it'll prompt you to install them. Now in this case, you see it shows up similar to an iPad. You got the device name, internal storage, and then in my case, I have all of the folders available that I have on the phone. I can move files back and forth rather than just the images. Depending on the settings, however, if it's set to transfer images rather than just transfer files, you see what that looks like. Internal storage, and now just DCIM and pictures. It's usually pretty simple. But now for the million-dollar question, what do we do with all these files? Where do we put them? Well, media management, media organization is actually a huge topic, and the more complex the production is, the more complex the answer. But for now, we can just look at the basics. So what I do is, somewhere on the C drive, in my case at the top level, I have an assets folder, and inside the assets folder is a different folder for each project I'm working on. For example, right now I'm working on the Zero Budget Media Second Series, and all the files I need are in there. I've moved them there from wherever I got them via AirDrop or QuickShare or just transferring by cable. You'll also note inside my assets folder there is a cloud assets folder, and that's for collaboration with Blackmagic's cloud service. If you put all the video files, audio files, pictures, that kind of thing inside the assets folder, it makes it easier to relink those files later if they get lost. If the file structure is consistent across devices, it will save you time later, trust me. So that's the organizational system that I find has worked best recently, especially when working with other editors using DaVinci Resolve, which we'll look at later. Never too early to start organizing your footage, trust me.